Hey everybody, this is Jen. Welcome to my channel. Today, it's very dreary out here in the garden, and life feels very dreary at the moment. Sometimes our journeys aren't always pleasant, and I'm going to talk about that right here on Garden Jen's Journey. This is our old mothered Stallard bean patch. Looks a lot different now than what it did a couple months ago when this whole thing was full of beautiful, lush green leaves. But it's been a very productive patch. I've gotten quite a few beans off here. I have not weighed them yet because some are still curing. But I would say that off of this trellis, and it is 3 cattle panels long, that I got roughly 5 pounds of beans, dried beans, off this cattle panel. So I'm very, very happy with how much that this bean trellis has produced. Now behind me here is my lima bean trellis, and you can kind of see that it's quite damaged because we finally had some frost here. You can see the damage on the leaves. They're quite frost damaged, but the lima bean, it is a little more cold hardy than your general bean. So though it's got quite a bit of frost damage on it, it's still actually alive. And so we're waiting for these pods here on the lima beans to start turning colors, and so I can harvest them. We do have some that are turning colors here. Actually, I have one down here. See if I can pull it off here. They're very hardy vines, so it's hard to get things off them. But here's a pod that is ready to go in my drying room. But I'm waiting for more of these to dry out, so hopefully they will soon. So if you guys have been a part of my channel for any length of time, you know that we had a special star to our gardening videos who always made her presence known whenever she was around and knew I was making a video. You would see a specific cat on our homestead pop in and try to be the center of attention. And that was most of the time Smokebomb. And if it wasn't Smokebomb, it was her brother Tiny. But anyways, Smokebomb had become one of the main components of many of my gardening videos because she always was around when I made those videos. And so she was just kind of interesting how she kind of put herself in there, so to speak. But unfortunately, she will no longer be part of our gardening videos. Last night, in the early evening, she had been hit by a car, and my husband and I found her as we were on our way to doing a herbal presentation. My husband was just pulling out of the driveway, and when he looked both ways before pulling out, he ended up seeing that Smokebomb was laying dead in the road just a little ways from our driveway. And so we got out of the vehicle. He went and scooped her up and knew that she was dead. And she had just been hit not too long ago because her body was very warm and very it wasn't stiff yet, so rigor mortis hadn't set in. So very freshly just been hit, and it was devastating. You know, who would hit an animal like a cat or a dog and just keep on driving, not even stop, especially that's right next to a house, and not even stop. And so I've been trying to deal with that piece, that somebody, because it wasn't dark, It was still broad daylight, and you could tell Smokebomb was a cat and that she belonged to our property because she was actually on our way home. And the traffic on our road is mainly neighbors because we live on a dead-end road. We do have visitors that come down, especially hunters this time of year, because we butt up on state land, and so we have hunters. But still, you see a cat crossing the road right next to a home and you hit it, why don't you stop? I don't know. But anyways, my husband and I got her prepared and got her buried, and then went on to do the presentation. As much as it hurt that she was gone, and to see her left like that in the middle of the road, I still had a presentation I had to do. I was expected to be somewhere. And so we went, and I did my job, gave the presentation, had my spirits lifted a little by the kids there who were playing ukuleles and singing precious little songs to Jesus. So that helped a little bit. Now, give you a backstory on Smokebomb if you are new to our channel, or, you know, don't really know who Smokebomb is. I'll give you a little backstory on her. She was born here on the homestead to a mom that we had tried getting set up to get fixed, but we didn't get her spayed in time, so she ended up pregnant. And so in May of 2017, I believe, is when it was, Latte had given birth to her kittens in the middle of the night. I actually had to pick Latte up in mid-labor and put her in the birthing box because she started giving birth to kittens on the porch floor, which was really, really cold. And so those kittens that she was giving birth to were really, really cold because they were laying on the cold floor. But anyways, they were born, and we had one little gray one. She was tiny, and but she had a spunk. She had a will to live. When animals are born as runts, especially if you have a large litter, you'll notice this, that the runts get pushed to the side so the more healthy ones can get to the milk, and they are securing their survival. Well, Smokebomb was fighting for her life as well. She would often try pushing her siblings aside so she could nurse off of her mother and survive. And we knew from day one, just by watching this precious tiny little kitten, that there was something special about Smokebomb, that even though she was a runt, she had the will to live. And as long as she had that will to live, we were going to fight with her, and we were going to help her make it as far through life as we possibly could. So that's what we did. We made sure that she got her nutrition and things like that. And then eventually, as she grew up, her brother, who happened to be the largest kitten in the litter, actually protected her and watched out for her. And he kind of played rough with her and taught her how to fight, so to speak. It was really interesting to watch the dynamics of brother and sister, smallest and biggest of the litter. And so Tiny and Smokebomb were very tight. They could be seen laying together quite often. And like I said, you could see them tussling about quite often. And as Smokebomb got older, she actually could lay her brother out flat quite often. He had taught her well. And that came in handy for her. A couple years ago, in the middle of the night, we heard this horrific scream outside our window. And I knew something was in the yard that shouldn't have been. And it was attacking our cats. So I let my dogs out and found Smokebomb later. She was in our garage hiding, and so I picked her up to see what was going on, because I I knew that she was the one that had been in trouble. And her back end was wet, like from her back hips down to her tail was wet. But there was no blood or anything. It was just wet. And then I noticed when I touched her, she was sore. And I looked, and there was 2 puncture wounds on her back end, right by her hips. And so she had been in the mouth of a coyote, because we have those that come around every once in a while. And she had whipped the crap out of that coyote to get free before our dogs went outside. So that tells you what kind of spunk that tiny little kitten had. And so she made it through being a runt. She beat the crap out of a coyote when it tried eating her. And very often she got in fights with her sister. But you saw her very often trying to be the center of attention in my videos. She was just that spicy. And well, usually she stayed out of the road. If she was crossing the road to go mouse hunt in the field across the road, she was very smart about it, usually. But last night, for some reason or another, she didn't make the crossing in enough time. She was hit. And like I said, it just boggles my mind. You know, why would somebody hit an animal so close to a house and not stop? I mean, if you can't stop to deal with a dead animal, why couldn't you at least stop and knock on the door of the house and say, hey, you know, sorry, but I just, you know, I hit one of your animals. But they didn't. And so we had to find her in the condition that we found her and deal with her and get her buried. And it still hurts. It's going to hurt for some time. Because there's just special things about Smokebomb. And I can make this a very long video about Smokebomb. But I just wanted to let you guys kind of know what's going on. I do have some more gardening videos I planned on doing. But the weather has just not been very cooperative. And we've also been having internet issues. We recently changed phone companies because we were told it was going to be better. It was cheaper than the one that we had before. But out here now with this particular company, I can't upload videos like I used to. The internet is just way too slow. So I have to wait till I go into town, which is maybe once or twice a week, to try to get videos uploaded. And if I don't have them done before I go into town, I don't get any videos uploaded. So that's where we are right now. I do have videos that are in the works. I was going to do a seed saving video on doing tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. But again, the weather got in the way, and it's a little too late to be doing those for this season. I'll probably still be doing them though, just to have them as a reference for next year. But that's where we are right now. Things are really slow as far as being able to get videos done because of the weather and the Wi-Fi. But we've had a lot going on as far as the gardens changing, and again with the passing of beloved Smokebomb. So that's it for today's video. I just want to share you guys the update on this journey. It's not been very pleasant lately, but it is what it is. You know, our journeys aren't always pleasant, but we still have to get where we're going. So thank you for being with me on this journey. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Love to have you along and share this journey with you. There's lots of things we do on the homestead besides mourning the loss of our dearly beloved pets. But again, it is what it is. So thank you for being with me today. I hope that wherever you are wonderfully blessed. So until next time, everybody. Bye-bye.